She didn't have to say that this was the backup on the football team. If she would have taken out that detail, it might not have turned out as bad.
Yeah, nobody would care. I'm glad she left that detail in because now we know. Now we know the backup was hitting that. Matt Stafford's wife, man, she said, I need to experience the whole team. Oh, man.
You just made it way worse than it actually is.
Yeah, it's not the whole team. It's not. It's just the backup. But yeah, man, she was on a podcast. We talked about LeBron's wife being on a podcast. Seems like everyone's wife wants to jump on a podcast and just spill all the beans.
Yeah. Let's take a listen to what she said, then we can talk about it.
He tried to casually date and you were all in?
Oh, yeah, girl. Anyways, long story short, it wasn't that cute of a relationship at first. I hated him. I loved him. I dated the backup to piss him off, which worked.
Yes.
He was like,
that'll do it.
He was the bad boy, too. Like, Matthew's so sweet and Southern gentleman and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And the backup was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it upset him. So they lived in the same dorm because athletes lived in the same dorm, and he would see my car there. And so at one point, he like waited and followed me out and got in my car and wouldn't get out.
Oh.
And he was
You're like,
like,
this is so hot.
I was like, this is amazing. It's working.
Yeah.
I was get out of my car and he was like, he's not right for you. And I was like, what? You can't tell me that.
Oh my God. Is this a story that she had to tell?
I mean, we're talking about it.
I don't get it. I feel like there's a way to say this without saying that, oh, you were fucking with your man's possible replacement on the football team to spite him.
She called him a bad boy, too.
And she said, ooh, after she said that.
I think the other girl said, ooh.
No, that was her.
She did her own ad-lib?
She said, ooh, he was mad.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, thanks, baby. Nat's on here talking about, ooh, Poppy. Look at those legs.
Oh, man.
I know, that tan is looking good, right? Thanks, babe. But yeah, I don't. We got problems. If this clip comes out from my wife,
Okay.
and I'm a Super Bowl champion, not even, you know what? Take out the fact that Matt Stafford is a Super Bowl champion, probably going to be a Hall of Famer. Take out all the aspects of who he is. If I could be the guy that is the number one ice cream scooper, and the guy that shows up on off hours is the one that you decide to fuck with, we have a problem if you go on a podcast and talk about this. That's nuts.
Yeah, she said, she did it on purpose to make him mad. She said they were living in the same dorm. He would see her car out there and know she was there.
That's nasty work. That is really nasty work. I don't like it at all.
I mean, she also tried to, shout him out and be like, oh, he was dating 12, 10 models, like hot girls, but he was still worried about locking it down with her. I think it's a good story. I think it's a story that, shows struggle because so many people just want to show the good side of their relationship. They don't want to show what's real. When you look at LeBron and Savannah looking mad at each other, you're like, why? If we knew more things about this, we'd understand and they'd be more relatable. I think more people should, be more real with their stories because just because you start off with some drama, like, Ben and J-Lo, doesn't mean you can't have a happy ending because they have 4 kids now. They're happily married, and who knows? I don't know if he's made any comments about this, but I'm sure that he's well aware of their history.
But my thing is it's not even necessarily as much about the comments as obviously the media caught on to this. This is like a national story at this fucking point.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, this man is still playing. So these dudes be talking reckless to each other on the field. They're going to be talking about how so-and-so popped your wife because she wanted to fuck around with the whole football squad when you was out dating these models and stuff. Like, bro, this is not... There's certain things you can leave details to yourself. She could have said that, oh, he was seeing somebody else. She didn't have to say that this was the backup on the football team. If she would have taken out that detail, it might not have turned out as bad.
Yeah, nobody would care. I'm glad she left that detail in because now we know. Now we know the backup was hitting that. How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you think the backup feels like getting that shout out?
That backup is a fucking car salesman somewhere with his own family, and he's like, okay, she was fun for a little bit. Like,
she said he was a bad boy. Do you think that? Like, what do you think about him? Like smashing the starting QB's girl. Do you think that he had some personal vendetta, or you think it was just the norm around campus? Because I remember all the athletes and football players. It seemed like they had a lot of groupies.
They pass around the chicks.
Yeah,
they definitely share.
Yeah, I don't know.
But also, these girls get off on that. Like, she literally said, "I did this on purpose to make him mad."
Yeah,
like. They get off on this.
Yeah, I do. I was just talking to a girl that said, she's like, oh yeah, I messed up with the love of my life because he had not responded to her for a few weeks, so she ended up hooking up with someone, like a friend of his, and I'm like, damn. She's like, yeah, then I did it again, and I'm like, well, fool me once.
Dude. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. It's just.
It is crazy. It feels like people get these microphones in front of them and then they just start saying the wildest shit. If you marry with kids, I feel like when you have kids, I wouldn't want to see my mom talking about smashing my dad's backup quarterback in college. I think, there's a time and a place, but I'm torn because I do like when people give the reality of a situation. I don't think it's super appropriate when your husband's super famous and you're more low-key. I think there's a time and a place to be real. And on a podcast, I don't think this is a good look, personally.
No. Listen, I think from an entertainment standpoint, for outsiders, sure, it's great. But when it comes to their relationship, that's not respect to me. Because if he was on a podcast and he told everybody, oh, yeah, I was initially fucking with her, but I had 12, 15 other chicks on the side, so she wasn't really important to me. She wouldn't like that. So how is he supposed to act and feel when she's going on there talking about fucking with the backup?
Well, we don't know how either of them feel about this.
I mean, it's possible that neither of them care. I'm just saying from a public perspective, because this is in the public now, that don't look the best. But hey, to each their own. I hope they're happy. I'm sure they are. They've got millions, and millionaires do different stuff. Maybe
hundreds of millions, bro. That contract is serious. Bro.
Maybe the backup is still in the picture. That's why she's talking about, ooh, I don't know.
He's still in the picture. He's long gone. I don't know. He's in the fucking XFL right now, bro. He might be. I don't know. Who knows? But I would appreciate the shout out if I was the backup. Like, yeah, you remember.
I feel like you only appreciate the backup if you name drop, though.
Nah, that's too much.
That's too much information?
No, because he knows who he is.
That's true.
Matt knows.
And so does Matt know.
I'm sure he was like, that's why you the backup. They were in the film room looking at different types of film.
Oh, man. Or just looking at the same film.
Yeah, for real. I don't know, man. I feel like this is going to be more recurring nonsense coming from podcasts just in the future, because I feel like when people are famous or they're married to someone famous, they feel like, oh, now it's my time to tell our story. So like, no, it's not. You don't make the money. Maybe you should shut up. Like, I don't understand. Listen, I think it's good to be transparent and tell the real side of things for sure. So I appreciate her saying that, but I am still going to judge and say I don't think it's a good look. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's, she's being real and transparent and people can learn from this? Or do you think she's being messy and she should probably shut up and not say these types of things? I don't know. Is it a respect thing? I don't think we can speak to the boundaries of their relationship. They seem to be happy. But would I want someone saying some stuff like this about me? No. I don't care if I won the Super Bowl, was a car salesman, was an ice cream scooper. I don't want that. I don't want that to be the narrative, even if it happened. Let's keep it between us and the backup. Oh, man, I did think it was funny. Now we know who she is. She called him, Matt Stafford, a Southern gentleman. I think this is a story what nice guys can finish first. Maybe not second.
I don't
but
know.
he also was third. So
I don't know how nice guy he was, but whatever.
she called him a Southern gentleman. I'm going by her words, but
He had a roster of 12 to 15.
I don't know.
That's you could be a gentleman
Yeah, you can.
and something else behind closed doors. So
Those are the same. You could be a gentleman to 10 to 15 women, 100%.
oh, for sure. When you're the starting quarterback at Georgia, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely a gentleman. Absolutely.
Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Spotify. Follow on Instagram,
Of course.
Twitter, TikTok.
All the apps. We're everywhere. We are everywhere.